Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. TIFA research firm released their poll findings this morning, and the results are very, very interesting. George Wajackoya seems to be gaining some popularity at the expense of William Ruto. So in this video, I want us to have a look at the figures, for they are going to form the basis of our analysis and discussion right now. TIFA research. Nairobi County poll. If elections were held today, Raila Odinga will lead in Nairobi County with 50%, followed by William Ruto with 25%, and George Wajackoya on the third position with 7%. And then down there you can see preferred presidential candidate by total. Raila Odinga, in May Raila had 41%, and now in June this month 50%. Raila has actually gained 9%. William Ruto in May had 26%. In June this month, Ruto has 25%. Ruto has lost 1%. Wajackoya has 7%. And 7%, ladies and gentlemen, is something that cannot be taken for a ride, or rather for granted. That's thousands of Nairobi residents actually throwing their weight behind George Wajackoya. So in this video, I want us to analyze that to see exactly what the trends are showing us about the polls. You can see clearly that in May, Raila had 41%. In June now, he has 50%. He has gained about 9%. And 9% is thousands of Nairobi residents. William Ruto had 26% in May. Now he has 25%. He's actually declining. He has lost 1%. And a newcomer in the name of Wajackoya, all of a sudden, has gained a whopping 7%. What are those figures telling us politically? It's clear from the figures, Raila's popularity is actually rising, and not only rising as captured by TIFA research firm, but all credible scientific research that have been done, or other researches that have been done, are all pointing to that. A Raila rising in popularity as William Ruto declines in popularity. And then we have a new kid on the block, Wajackoya, getting a whooping 7%. If you look at these polls, I tend to believe Wajackoya is gaining at the expense of William Ruto. And that is because if you look at William Ruto supporters, William Ruto seems to be having supporters who don't believe in him. They are not supporting William Ruto for any cause at all. They might be supporting William Ruto because William Ruto was the new kid on the block. He came up with a very nice narrative, dynasties versus hustlers. He has come up with the bottoms up, the wheelbarrow, such kind of new antics and narratives. So a good majority of William Ruto supporters are people who are just maybe interested or being lured towards maybe such kinds of narratives or new things, maybe new things on maybe on the political scene. New narratives, I tend to believe, excites William Ruto supporters. And that can explain why William Ruto's popularity is actually declining. And now with Wajackoya being the new kid on the block, with a new narrative, I'm going to legalize bang. We are going to encourage snake farming. We are going to legalize prostitution. I tend to believe a good majority of William Ruto supporters who are actually being attracted and lured with such kind of new narratives or maybe new antics, a good majority of them are dumping William Ruto for George Wajackoya, simply because they don't have anything they can actually die for in supporting William Ruto. They are just being swayed by new things and new narratives that are coming, or rather emerging, in the political stage. That can explain why Wajackoya has that kind of a big support. And if you look at it again, I tend to believe that a rising Wajackoya's popularity is actually a threat to a William Ruto's presidency. The more Wajackoya becomes prominent, William Ruto is losing a good chunk of his supporters. And just as I've explained, a good majority of William Ruto supporters are not supporting William Ruto because they believe in him, but because of maybe the narratives William Ruto has been bundling around. If you look at Raila supporters, Raila seems to be gaining popularity, and that gain is very consistent. And I can also state authoritatively here that a good majority of Raila supporters, they are supporting Raila Odinga because they believe in his political ideology. They have studied and seen Raila for so many years, and they have come to believe in his political ideologies. They know Raila Odinga cannot actually cheat them. They believe in Raila Molo Odinga. So they cannot be persuaded by new narratives on the political stage. That's why largely Raila's popularity is actually rising as Ruto's popularity declines. And from that poll again, if you want to know the direction Kenya is most definitely taking, then do an opinion poll in the city, and largely you will know where Kenya is actually heading towards. As I talk right now, in one way or the other, I'm persuaded that that is the national poll if an election was to be done today. I believe should an election be done today, Raila would get most likely 50%, Ruto most likely 25%. In short, Ruto's votes would be half of that of Raila Molo Odinga. So if Raila was to get about 60%, Ruto would get about 30%. That is something I'm seeing from these polls. Because largely Nairobi, even in the past presidential elections, Nairobi always gives someone an accurate figure of what this candidate always gets. Yes. And also what can explain that Raila popularity rise is that all along Raila supporters were still quiet and dormant. They were not coming out to declare their stand for Raila Molo Odinga because it was not all that clear whether Raila was actually going to be on the ballot. William Ruto had all along been campaigning. And now that is now official and clear, Raila is on the ballot. Raila's traditional supporters, or rather support base, is waking up. And that's why you can see Raila's popularity rising. And I won't be wrong also to state that if another opinion poll was to be done in the next 1 week or 2 weeks, we will see clearly Raila's popularity has actually even risen from 50 even now to 60%. And also if you look at Nairobi politics, all along Raila has been controlling about half of the city politics. He has been getting an almost equal, or rather about 50% of the Nairobi votes. And about 50% has been tilting towards a Gema or a Mount Kenya candidate. And now with the split on the mountain vote, I'm seeing a good majority of the mountain votes in Nairobi going towards Raila Molo Odinga. So if you add Raila's traditional support base in the city, and then you add with that split, or rather that other mountain support that is also supporting him, I'm seeing Raila Odinga performing far much better in Nairobi than any other time he has actually contested for the presidency. And that's why I believe in this year's presidential election, Raila Odinga is easily going to beat William Ruto. And he's not just going to beat William Ruto, he is going to beat William Ruto with a very, very big margin. That's something I'm seeing here. So with Wajackoya also actually emerging, I'm seeing that also working to the disadvantage of William Samoei Ruto. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, in case you are watching us for the very first time, and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans, our subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. To any other person watching us outside Kenya for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like, and also don't forget to drop a comment so that we can know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.